welcome. Tonight, we peel back the carnival curtain and reveal one of the coldest, most forgotten disappearances to ever take place under the bright lights of small-town America. I'm taking you to Oklahoma City, 1981, a place where the wholesome image of America heartland met the edge of something much darker. Two 13-year-old girls vanished in broad daylight during one of the most crowded public events in the state. Their names were Charlotte Kinsey and Cinda Pallett, and this is one of Oklahoma's most chilling and heart-wrenching unsolved mysteries. Two girls, vibrant, full life, disappeared under circumstances so baffling, so deeply unsettling, that decades later, their story still echoes through the quiet neighborhoods of their hometown. But before we follow the haunting trail of their disappearance, we have to go back to where they came from. Because to understand how something so unspeakable could happen, we need to understand the place that shaped them, and the shadows that may have always been hiding just beneath the surface. Oklahoma City, to most, is just another dot on the map, an ordinary Midwestern city tucked into the vast expanse of the Great Plains. But look a little closer, and you'll find a place with history far darker than it seems. This is a city built on oil, once hailed as the oil capital of the world. Fortunes were made overnight, and with them came secrets, blurred deep beneath the soil, hidden in the pipelines and shadows of unchecked power. The land itself has memory. Oklahoma City sits on the remains of the Dust Bowl era, where windstorms turned day into night, the soil rose like smoke, and families were driven into desperation. That kind of suffering leaves an imprint, a generational unease that never quite fades. And then there's the wound that still bleeds. This is Oklahoma City, hardworking, God-fearing, a place where neighbors waved across porches and left their doors unlocked, where the annual fair was a family tradition. But not everything was as it seemed. There were cracks in sidewalks, rising crime, economic strain, a quiet reminder that no place, not even the heartland, is immune to darkness. And every September, right in the middle of it all, came the Oklahoma State Fair. 10 days of fried food, flashing lights, carnival barkers, livestock shows, and tons of thousands of people swarming the fairgrounds from all across the state. For kids, it was a dream. For predators, it was an opportunity. Charlotte Kinsey lived in a working-class neighborhood. She was described as soft-spoken, sweet, shy even. She loved animals and rarely strayed far from her mother's rules. Cinda Pallett, on the other hand, was bold, curious, a little mischievous, full of energy and personality. The two were opposites, but they balanced each other out. Best friends, the kind of bond that feels like forever when you're 13. On September 26, 1981, they made plans to go to the fair. Just a normal Saturday. They'd meet up with friends, eat some junk food, maybe ride a tilt-a-whirl. It was supposed to be a day of fun, and for a while, it was. Throughout the afternoon, the girls were spotted by multiple witnesses, laughing, exploring, weaving their way through the noise and neon of Oklahoma State Fair. They did what any 13-year-old girls would do. They visited booths, munched on snacks, probably tried to win a prize or two. They watched events, soaked in the entertainment, and made plans to meet up with friends later that evening. It was a day like any other, ordinary, fun, safe, until it wasn't. At some point during the afternoon, a man approached them. He claimed to be a carnival worker, told them he needed help unloading stuffed animals from a trailer. Quick job, easy money, just a little work behind the scenes of the fair. It didn't seem threatening. He looked like he belonged, and the girls, curious, trusting, agreed. They walked away with him, past the games, past the lights, and beyond the crowds. And just like that, they vanished. No screams, no chaos, trace. What started as an afternoon of innocent fun turned into a silence that has lasted for more than 4 decades. And in that silence, questions still scream. The man they left with is believed to be Royal Russell Long, a convicted offender and part-time carnival worker, a man with a vile, sprawling criminal record across multiple states. In 1985, Long was arrested and charged with the kidnapping of Charlotte and Cinda. But here's where the story takes a twist. His charges were dropped. No bodies, no physical evidence, just a series of damning coincidences and a predator's long history. Royal Russell Long would go on and die in prison in 1993, serving time for unrelated kidnappings of other girls in Wyoming. But Charlotte Kinsey and Cinda Pallett never found, never heard from again. Oklahoma City has changed a lot since 1981. There's a booming art scene, a revitalized downtown, a sense of growth and progress. But beneath it all, the scars remain. The community still remembers. At the fairgrounds, amid the roar of roller coasters, the laughter of children, and the scent of funnel cake, some people still glance over their shoulders, still wonder if justice was ever done. Charlotte Kinsey and Cinda Pallett were just 13. They went looking for a little fun. They found a predator. And while the fair returns every year, they never did.